I joined the Toronto Police Force in 1975, just after I was 18 years old. Spent 5 years with them, and in 1980 I left Toronto to join the OPP and spent the rest of my career between the OPP and teaching at the Ontario Police College. And in April of 1982, I was actually supposed to be on my day off because it was my birthday, my 25th birthday, and I got called out for a robbery that had taken place north of Hornpain, where I was stationed at the time. And we met the truck coming south on 631 highway. I had a young recruit with me, and there was 5 juveniles in the truck. 3 of them went off into the bush and 2 stayed with the truck, so I had the recruit arrest those 2 and search them, put them in the car, and I went into the bush after the other 3. They ran across the top of the snow. It supported them. When I hit the tree line, it wouldn't support my weight. I weighed about 270 pounds with all my gear on, and I went through the snow and hit a frozen log and shattered both kneecaps. Didn't stop me. I still went back in a cruiser for 2 years, and it wasn't until I became a liability to my co-workers that I finally accepted the reality of not being able to be on active duty anymore, and that's when I sought out other employment in the policing community.
I'm pretty sure he was involved in stapling my hair to the desk behind me. You're involved in a few other things, I'm sure. I didn't really get to know him until the summer before we got married. From that time to when we got engaged was 5 days, 4 days, 4 days, 5 days. Dealing with Mike's disability at the beginning, because he worked so hard at going back to work, there wasn't a lot of visible things right away. And in the early days, he didn't let it interfere with a lot of the things. First off, when we were in Hornpain, once he had healed from the initial part of the injury, he went back to active duty, so it was basically the same. They told us he wasn't supposed to be able to walk again, but he was walking.
It definitely made for a very poisoned environment, and a lot of it, I think, came about because people would see me out doing things and go, well, you know, he can ride a horse, why can't he, you know, do his job? And they didn't see the after hours suffering that went on, so it definitely caused a lot of stress in the workplace. I know I had people complaining about the fact I had privileged parking and everything else, and you know, they had the old way of thinking where when you're disabled, you're supposed to be wrapped in cotton batting and then sat on a porch for the rest of your life, and I don't believe in that.
When you say disabled, people can't do stuff.
Because of where we live, it's a remote area, and we're obviously quite happy here, and we made the choice. And again, we made this house accessible for me. I could use a wheelchair or an electric scooter here if I had to go back to using one full time. I do require them for part-time use. As a result, I got a fairly heavy-duty electric scooter that can handle the driveway and some of the stuff around our immediate property. And then, of course, our truck is a fairly large Chevy dually with hand controls on it and 4-wheel drive. So Barb actually bought that for me one year for my birthday. But it pretty much guarantees us being able to come and go as we please. And we've had the truck modified and had a crane put on the back. And we have pods to put the scooter in so we can travel with them quite easily. Got my first dog when I was 4 years old, little Sheltie Coley, and her name was Sheltie. She slept on my bed, and I basically had a dog with me my whole life ever since, at least one. They're important, I think. They give us a lot of motivation. They're certainly what keeps me going. Our current dogs, Rathbone and Cameo, are certainly a very special pair. Rathbone's definitely my dog, Cameo's Barb's. And Rathbone is very much my constant companion. I mean, I don't think I can get more than 10 breaths in a day that a dog isn't there with me to make sure I'm okay. So it's an important factor. I think that, you know, animals just make us feel better and give us a whole new perspective on life, and they're certainly worth having around. They're a lot of fun.
In 1983, when Mike was diagnosed with cancer, Michael and Stephanie were 2 and 4.
Told I had 90 days to live. Fooled them. They were wrong. I knew I was going to be fine. She had to face the reality she might become a widow. So it was much tougher. everything just, walk in the park after that, right?